Hi everyone, thanks for watching another video about this CompTIA Security Plus certification. Today we're going to look at some exam questions. We will go over them together and hopefully we can learn from it. This way you have a good idea what you can expect on the exam. Thanks for watching, see you soon. Hi everyone, thanks for checking out another InfoSec Hub video. Today we're going to make test number 18 of this CompTIA Security Plus certification exam. So without any further ado, let's go into the exam questions. What are the characteristic features of Radius? Radius is an authentication and authorization server, a kind of server that's placed inside the network to give you the right permissions, usually for remote working. So it's primarily used for network access. So accessing network resources like storage devices, access to applications and your own files. Furthermore, it combines authentication and authorization, and it's primarily used for device administration. So the devices that are allowed to log into the network. Examples of more complex authentication protocols providing the AAA functionality include select all that apply. Well, that's Radius that we just saw, and that's the CAX, I think I say it correctly, plus. And this last one is, I believe, made by Cisco. If I say something, I need to verify it. I want to make sure that I'm not... let's see. No, just a second. Yes, Google. Let's see. Terminal access controller, access control system. And I think that's now owned by Cisco. Yes, Cisco Systems. I was correct. That's nice. So the CAX, plus, and Radius. Which of the answers listed below refers to an XML-based markup language for exchanging authentication and authorization data? That's SAML. So exchanging authentication and authorization. So first you authenticate yourself. Who are you? You can authenticate yourself with a password or with a security token, two-factor authentication, multi-factor authentication. And after you're authenticated, so it's verified that it's you will get all the authorizations. So all the rights basically on the network, on the various applications, you will get the authorization. And the XML-based markup language is called SAML. OpenID Connect is a protocol used for OpenID. ID is who you are, so that has to do with authentication. Not authorization yet. First, ID, who are you? So authenticate yourself. Which of the following answers refers to an open standard reference architecture for authentication? Open standard. Usually has an O in it, right? For open source or open. In this case also, it's this one. Continue. Okay. OAuth is an open standard for. This is so easy because this already says open authentication. So it has to be authentication. No. Authorization. Open authorization because of the TH. Authentication, authorization. Okay, let's go back. I'm sorry, I'm confusing right now. OpenID is for authentication. The ID, who are you as a person? And the other one here, this one, is for the authorization process. Okay. Which of the answers listed below refers to a SAML-based single sign-on system? Single sign-on is basically you sign on once And this software grants you access to all the different subsystems or applications that are on the network. And with this single sign-on, you will automatically be signed on to all of those, products as well. And XML, the XML-based system is called, I don't know how you call it, shibboleth, something like that. Just try to remember that. A lot of terms that you need to remember. A common implementation of identity and access controls used in federated SSO systems include OpenID Connect and Open Authentication 2.0 used in conjunction to provide authentication and authorization services. That's 100% correct, true. Which of the following answers refers to a commonly used solution for tracking user access in a federated single sign-on system? That's a security token. A security token. So this might be Google Authenticator app or maybe an RSA key, things like that. A security token. A proprietary suite of security controls providing authentication, integrity, and confidentiality to users in Microsoft Windows networks is called. It's called. Let's see, what is it called? NTLM, I guess. You would say MS Chat because you think it's Microsoft, but it's actually something else. I think for this case, NTLM. I'm not sure. Which of the answers listed below refers to a preferred authentication protocol recommended by Microsoft Windows networks? That's Kerberos. An access control model in which every source has a sensitivity label matching a clearance level assigned to a user is known as MAC. Which of the following answers lists the characteristic features of a mandatory access control or a MAC model? Let's see. Users are not allowed to change access policies at their own discretion. Yes, definitely not. Users are not allowed to do that. Only administrators are. Labels and clearance levels can only be applied and changed by administrator. That's basically what I just said. And let's see, every resource has a sensitivity level matching a clearance level assigned to a user. Which of the answers listed below refers to an access control model used in trusted OS implementations? Let's see, that's also Mac. One of the basic requirements of mandatory access control in order to be able to access resources, user clearance level must be equal or higher than the sensitivity level assigned to the network, to the resource, I'm sorry. This is true. Continue. Which of the following access control models enforces the strictest sets of access rules? A, B, A, C. Oh. Discretionary access control is an access control model based on user identity. In DOC, every object has an owner who at his or her discretion determines what kind of permissions other users can have to that object. Is that correct? I think it's correct. Not sure here, I'm sorry. Which access control model defines access control rules with the use of statements that closely resemble natural language? I just remember there has to be an R in it. RBAC. Examples of properties used for defining access policies and attribute-based access control, ABAC, include subject, type of action, resource type, environment. All of the above. All of the above. Because they're all attributes, basically. Continue. Group-based access control in Microsoft Windows is an example of group-based. That's this one, RBAC. An access control model in which access to resources is granted or denied depending on the contents of access control list ACL entries is called. That's a rule-based access control. ACL access control list can be, let's say, for instance, on the basis of a MAC address of a computer. So all the MAC addresses that are whitelisted basically can have network access and will be given an IP address, for instance. And all the other MAC addresses are not allowed to enter our network or do anything, don't get no IP addresses. That's basically a rule-based access control, and this is usually set up in a router. Continue. Which of the following answers refers to a rule-based access control model? So the R standing for rule-based access control model. Two answers. To access to resources granted, denied, yes. And implemented, it can be implemented in network devices, yes. Basically what I just said. Implemented in network devices such as firewalls to conduct inbound or outbound traffic based on filtering rules. Yes, filtering rules. That's why it's rule-based access control. Just earlier I said a router, but many routers also have firewall capabilities built in. Or you just have a simple router and all traffic will be going through a firewall first before it's entering the real network. If that makes any sense. But any type of router nowadays, a little bit more expensive router, have firewall capabilities built in. And yeah, it's based on rules, filtering rules. You can, if you want to know more about this, you can look for MAC filtering. See, I can maybe show you MAC filtering. See what it can come up with. Yeah, it's okay. Let's please go into English. Security access control method where the MAC address assigned to each network card is used to determine access to the network. Basically what I said. That's easy if you have a company and you know, all the systems that you bought. Let's say you bought 100 laptops for all your employees. You can have quite easily a whole list of MAC addresses of all the network cards that are connected to those devices, and only those 100 MAC addresses should get network access. All the rest, not. Okay, continue. A type of contactless smart card that can be read at close range from a reader device is commonly referred to as a proximity card. Not an access card, but proximity. And proximity corresponds here with range, close range. What type of preventative physical access controls would provide a basic means for securing a door access? Door access. Could be a proximity card reader and a smart card reader. CCTV is a camera system, lighting is something else, and motion detection. Yeah, if you don't have any door access controls there, a motion detector would, you know, in the store, for instance, the motion detector will make sure that the door opens automatically, but that's not very secure because then it's basically public. With a card reader, smart card reader or proximity card reader, you can authenticate yourself and authorize yourself to go through the door, basically. In computer security, the term biometrics refers to physical characteristics of the human body that can be used for identification and access control purposes. Yes, could be an iris scan, could be a voice recognition scan, could be a fingerprint scan, all the things that you have that make you unique as a person. Finish. Okay, I missed encrypts the passwords in the access request packet. Okay. Primarily used for device administration. That was not correct. Okay. Radius, the guess, well, authentication, authorization. Looking good. Which of the following access control models enforces the strictest set of access rules? Mac. Okay, so Mac is the most stricted rules, set of access rules. Okay. Which access control model defines access control rules with the use of statements that closely resemble natural nature? ABAC, not RBAC. Okay, this is rule-based access control, and this is... Okay, now I need to know what this stands for. Just a second. Meaning. Oh, it means alcohol beverages advertisement code. No, adaptive binary. Okay. Just one more second. Info security. Attribute-based access control. Okay. Thank you, Google. Let's see. Examples of properties used for defining access policies. Yes, correct. Yes. Group-based, so rules. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, 25 questions, 22 answered correctly. Still okay, but this is complicated. Actually, it's complicated because you just need to know a lot of terms, and you need to know what they mean and what they're standing for and what they're doing. So CompTIA is not necessarily very difficult. It's just a lot of studying. And this is already video number 18, and we will go until video 24. And by the time I'm done with all these videos, I answered a whole lot of questions. And this whole knowledge that you need to get into your head. So that is what makes CompTIA Security Plus difficult. But if you really like security and you're interested in it, then it shouldn't be too much of a problem either. Thanks for watching, and we hope to see you guys in the next video.